I like the removal of outside stimulus. I like kind of having a place that's a blank canvas where the artist comes in and makes it their own. I like not seeing sunlight and not knowing what time it is. And it's like one of the few things, if not the only thing, where I completely forget what I have to do in the future and what I've done in the past, and I can just kind of focus on it in the present. We're at Ivy Lab Studios in Lincoln Park. Everything from jazz, rock and roll, heavy metal, voiceover, anything that needs to get recorded, we do. I'm happy showing up and recording a band, you know, that like, I would be happy doing that until I'm 80. You know, I also really, really, really love when an artist says to me, this is exactly what was in my head, or this is better than what was in my head, or like, you have made my vision come true. That to me is like magical. Or getting the text after the mixes go out and being like, okay, kick drum down on one song, awesome. Those are the good parts, you know. The bummer parts always have to do with money, and that's not everything. Making great records is everything. So, you know, for me, all things considered, I get to make records. I got metric tons of vintage gear around here, incredible staff, like incredible co-workers. Like, that's pretty much every day is great, you know. I try to blend some of the crazy stuff with some of like the standard stuff. And 9 times out of 10, you bring the drummer back in after you get tones and you put up that one mic that's like distorted and blown out and huge, and they're off the walls about it, you know? So, I mean, like when I would hear an old Dr. John record, or I'd hear an old soul record, or like an old Motown record, I could hear something that the gear was doing, or, you know, like it wasn't just the guys in the room. And I have a hard time thinking that this stuff makes the difference between a hit song and not a hit song. I mean, I just don't think that's true, but it does add something to it. It does present the art in a different way that I think, depending on the application, it's appropriate, you know. I think anyone who's made a conscious decision to be a recording engineer has to love it, because I think there's very, very, very few people who are making like Wall Street money doing it. So you have to be here because you love it. You know, that's like, that's all there is to it, you know. Anyone who steps into the studio thinking they're, like, the first thing they're thinking is, I'm gonna make $1 million today, it's not gonna happen. All you should really be thinking about is making great records. Whatever happens after that just kind of happens, you know. It's usually up to the band, so. I like the fact that when we get stuff from Vintage King here, it works. And I just don't think anyone can beat the experience that you guys have. You guys have had your hands on an incredible array of equipment, from the most obscure to the most common, you know, and you know how to fix it. And that's kind of separates the men from the boys, I think, in this industry, are the guys who know how to maintain and the guys who don't. And if you don't know how to maintain, you're gonna want to send it to the best. And I truly think that you guys are the best at what you do, you know, and that's saying something. There's a couple other companies that I like, but nothing quite like what you guys do.